I first became interested in interpreting by actually getting to try it out as part of my undergraduate degree. So I studied French and German, and one of the final year options that we could take involved trying out some note-taking interpreting and a little bit of simultaneous interpreting. And I just found that it was the most interesting thing that I could do with my languages. It was something totally different, and that really made it stand out for me. And afterwards I found out that the EU was a good place to work with my languages, and so then I tried to pick a master's course that would prepare me for working in conference interpreting. The two languages that I studied at undergraduate level, I learnt German when I was very young, and that's, I think, what really started my lifelong interest in languages. Then when I moved here to Belgium, I learnt Dutch, and I got some support from my employer here to really get the Dutch up to a level where I could then use it for work. And now I've recently started learning Italian. And that's one of the great things about this job, is that you're really encouraged and supported to keep learning new languages. I studied French and German at Durham University in the UK, and I did that straight out of secondary school. So when I graduated, I was about 23, 24, and then I decided to take a year out, and I worked in Germany, which helped me to improve my German. And then 1 year later, I decided to do a master's to train me as an interpreter, and I did a master's course in interpreting and translation at the University of Bath, also in the UK. And I chose the University of Bath because I'd heard that it has a good track record in training interpreters who then go on to work here at the institutions, and also because the teaching is great and they have really good placements as well. So I got some really valuable work experience while I was there. I was lucky enough to be invited to take a test, an interpreting test, shortly after I graduated from my master's course. And that test, once I passed it, meant that I could work as a freelance interpreter for the European Union. And I did that. I worked as a freelancer for about 3 years. I lived in Brussels, and I did both interpreting and some translation, because that's what my master's was. It was a joint master's in interpreting and translation. And I found that very useful. But what I really wanted to do was interpret full-time. And so when the opportunity came up to take a full-time post working in the English unit here, I took that opportunity. And about 3 years after starting work full-time, I then did an EU competition to become full staff. I found it really useful doing a year out after my undergraduate degree, because at the time I wasn't really 100% sure what I wanted to do. I knew that I really liked languages, and I knew that interpreting was interesting, but I needed more time to decide, and also I suspected I needed to improve my foreign languages. So I went and worked teaching English in Germany, and then spent some time in France as well, to try and really improve my knowledge of the languages and how well I understood them. And I found the teaching English, that experience was really useful, because it made me much more aware of the English I speak, how I communicate, because I was stood up in front of a class of students, and all of that, even though I didn't know it at the time, actually turned out to be very useful for interpreting.